Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you found yourself struggling to remember a name, even though you know you've met that person several times before. It happens to all of us, but for seniors, those little lapses in memory and focus can start to feel more frequent, and it might raise some concerns. You might start wondering, is this normal? What can I do to stay sharp as I get older? Well, the good news is that there are ways to keep your brain healthy, sharp, and active. Just like your muscles need exercise to stay strong, your brain needs stimulation to maintain its function. And the best part? You don't need complicated, high-tech tools or hours of effort. Simple brain games and activities can make a world of difference in keeping your mind engaged. At I end this video, we'll dive into 5 brain games that have actually been proven to work for seniors. These games are fun, effective, and easy to incorporate into your daily routine. We'll also talk about a few that, unfortunately, might not give you the results you're hoping for. So, let's get started and explore how these activities can boost your brain power, improve your memory, and help you stay sharp. Let's begin with the first game. Puzzles. I'm sure many of you have done a crossword puzzle at some point. Whether it's in the newspaper, in a book, or on an app, crosswords are a great way to engage your brain. But what makes them so effective? Well, puzzles like these challenge your brain in several ways. They work on your memory, recall abilities, and even your vocabulary. As you work through a crossword, you have to think critically and recall information from your long-term memory. Plus, completing a puzzle gives you a little sense of accomplishment, which can be a nice boost to your mood as well. But crosswords are just one example. There's also jigsaw puzzles, which involve spatial reasoning. When you're putting together pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, your brain has to figure out where each piece fits, how the colors and patterns align, and how to solve the visual challenge. This helps improve your ability to focus and enhances your visual spatial processing. It's also a fantastic way to wind down after a busy day, offering a peaceful, meditative kind of engagement. And let's not forget about the sheer satisfaction of seeing that final piece fit into place. Now, you might be thinking, I've done a few puzzles, but I haven't noticed a big difference. Here's the key: consistency. Just like with any form of exercise, you won't see huge results from one session. But the more often you challenge your brain with puzzles, the better it gets at solving problems, recalling information, and even maintaining a sense of clarity in everyday tasks. Plus, it's a fun way to pass the time. No need for a screen, just you, your puzzle, and maybe a cup of tea or coffee to go along with it. But puzzles aren't the only brain game you should try. Another powerful tool for boosting mental agility is brain training apps. These apps offer a variety of games and exercises designed specifically to improve memory, focus, and cognitive flexibility. One of the most popular apps is Lumosity, which provides personalized training plans based on your progress and goals. These apps are great because they offer a variety of exercises that target different areas of the brain. You might find yourself doing memory exercises one day, then trying a concentration game the next. What's really special about these apps is that they make brain training feel like play. They take the guesswork out of what exercises to do and provide immediate feedback on your performance. It's also a great way to track your improvement over time. And while they're not a magic fix, regular use can help you stay mentally sharp, as you'll be constantly exercising different cognitive skills. Plus, because these apps are so engaging, it's easy to stick with them. Of course, if you don't have a smartphone or prefer more traditional forms of mental exercise, you don't need to worry. There are plenty of non-digital options too, like memory games. Simple card-matching games, where you have to remember where certain pairs are hidden, are an excellent way to improve recall and focus. These games don't require a lot of equipment, just a deck of cards or even homemade flashcards, and they can be played alone or with a group. Playing with others also adds a social component, which brings us to another important aspect of brain health: social interaction. The link between socializing and cognitive health is well documented. Studies have shown that staying socially active can actually help protect against cognitive decline and memory loss. When you engage in conversation, tell stories, or even play games with friends and family, your brain is constantly processing information, making connections, and strengthening those neural pathways. And the best part is fun. Whether you're playing a round of cards, attending a local book club, or just chatting with a friend, these interactions help keep your mind engaged in ways that go beyond the basics of memory and focused. Whether it's puzzles, brain apps, or memory games, there are plenty of ways to give your brain a good workout. But what about other activities that might seem like they're helping, but could actually be doing more harm than good? In the next section, we'll talk about 3 brain games that may not be as effective as you think. Now that we've covered a few brain games that are proven to be beneficial, let's talk about some that might not give you the results you're hoping for. It's easy to get caught up in trends or the latest brain exercises that promise big results. But the truth is that not every game or activity is as effective as it seems. Let's start with one that many people are familiar with: brain training video games that promise to boost memory and intelligence. These games are often advertised as tools that can improve your cognitive skills, such as focus, memory, and processing speed. You might see ads that claim using them for just a few minutes each day can sharpen your mind, and they often come with flashy graphics and colorful designs to make the experience feel engaging. However, the research on these games is mixed, and many studies have shown that the improvements are often limited to the game itself, not to real-world cognitive abilities. In other words, you might get better at playing the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean your memory or concentration will improve in your everyday life. It's kind of like practicing a sport or a hobby. It's great for building skills related to that specific activity, but it doesn't always translate to improved performance in other areas. While these games can certainly be entertaining and even help you unwind, they might not be the mental workout you're expecting. It's important to approach them with realistic expectations and not rely solely on them for long-term cognitive health. Another game that might not have the benefits you think is certain trivia games or quizzes that only test factual knowledge. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with testing your general knowledge, and it can certainly be fun to challenge yourself. But these kinds of games focus mainly on recalling information you've already learned, which doesn't necessarily challenge your brain in ways that improve overall mental functioning. What your brain really needs is something that goes beyond simple memorization and engages more complex processes, like problem solving, reasoning, and creative thinking. For example, if you're playing a trivia game where you're just asked to remember the names of countries or historical facts, you're not necessarily improving the flexibility of your thinking or your ability to solve new, unfamiliar problems. These types of games might help with your short-term recall of certain facts, but they won't do much to improve your long-term cognitive health. So, while trivia games can be fun and educational, they're not always the best tool for strengthening your brain in the way that puzzles, memory games, and social interactions do. Next on our list is the memory improvement apps or techniques that promise instant results. These are often marketed as shortcuts to improving your memory in just a few days or weeks. You might come across ads or products that claim they can unlock your brain's full potential by following simple exercises. While there's nothing wrong with practicing memory techniques, these quick-fix solutions can be misleading. Real, lasting improvements to memory require consistent effort and engagement. There's no magic trick or app that will make a significant difference in a short amount of time. For instance, some apps might teach you mnemonic devices or techniques to remember a list of words or numbers. While these strategies can be helpful in specific situations, they don't necessarily build the kind of cognitive resilience and flexibility that come from engaging in activities like puzzles, learning a new skill, or having regular, meaningful social interactions. It's important to be cautious with promises of fast results. Brain health is a long-term commitment, and there's no substitute for regular, varied mental exercise. Another reason these quick-fix memory techniques don't work as well as advertised is that they tend to focus on one specific type of memory. Real cognitive health involves more than just memory. It includes attention, problem-solving, and adaptability. So, while these techniques might make you feel like you're improving in the short term, they don't offer the same broad benefits that more comprehensive, engaging activities provide. With these games and techniques in mind, it's clear that not all activities marketed as brain-boosting are effective in the ways we hope they are. Now, you might be wondering, if some brain games don't live up to their promises, how can you tell which ones really work? The answer is simple. Activities that engage multiple areas of your brain at once tend to be the most beneficial. This could mean combining memory challenges with physical activity or social interaction. It's the holistic approach that truly helps your brain stay sharp. Which brings us to one last consideration: the importance of variety. The best brain games aren't just about doing one thing repeatedly. If you're only doing one type of activity, you may be missing out on the cognitive benefits of other exercises. For example, if you're only doing crosswords, you might be improving your verbal memory and reasoning skills, but neglecting your spatial reasoning or problem-solving abilities. Mixing things up, whether it's puzzles, memory games, physical exercises, or social activities, gives your brain a well-rounded workout and ensures you're keeping all areas of your cognitive health in tip-top shape. So, to recap, while there are many brain games that can help keep your mind sharp, some may not be as effective as you think. It's important to approach popular trends like brain training video games, trivia quizzes, and quick-fix memory apps with a realistic mindset. Instead, Focus on activities that challenge different areas of your brain and keep you engaged in a variety of ways. In the next section, we'll explore a few more brain games that really work and how you can incorporate them into your daily routine for the best results. Stay tuned because there's a lot more to discover. Now that we've covered the brain games that might not be as effective as they seem, let's get back to the good stuff. We've already touched on puzzles, brain training apps, and memory games, but there are even more enjoyable activities that can help you keep your mind sharp. And the best part? These are simple, fun, and easy to incorporate into your everyday life. One of the most underrated brain games is learning a new skill. Whether it's picking up a musical instrument, learning to knit, or even taking up a new language, learning something new is an incredible way to keep your brain engaged. When you learn a new skill, your brain is essentially building new connections, strengthening existing ones, and creating fresh pathways to store information. This helps improve cognitive flexibility, the ability to switch between tasks and adapt to new situations, which is key to staying sharp as we age. For instance, learning to play an instrument doesn't just improve your musical abilities. It strengthens your auditory processing, motor skills, and concentration. Plus, it taps into your creative side, which is important for mental health. Similarly, picking up a new language not only helps with memory recall, but it challenges your brain to think in different ways. Studies have shown that learning a new language can actually delay the onset of dementia and other cognitive impairments, so why not give it a try? Even if you start small, like learning a few phrases or basic vocabulary, you'll be doing wonders for your brain. Another great way to engage your brain is through regular physical activity. Now, I know you're probably thinking, this is a video about brain games, not exercise. But the connection between physical activity and cognitive health is so strong that it can't be ignored. When you engage in physical exercise, whether it's a brisk walk, yoga, or even dancing, you're increasing blood flow to the brain, which helps nourish your brain cells and promote neurogenesis, or the creation of new brain cells. Exercise also releases endorphins, which can improve mood and reduce stress. And let's not forget about the fact that physical activity helps maintain overall health, including heart health, which is closely linked to brain function. In fact, studies show that people who stay physically active are less likely to develop age-related cognitive decline. So, while it may not seem like a brain game at first glance, exercise is one of the best things you can do for your brain. Another activity that's great for your brain is reading. Whether it's a novel, a magazine, or even a newspaper article, reading helps stimulate your mind in ways that are beneficial for memory, focus, and cognitive function. When you read, your brain is constantly working to process new information, make connections, and imagine the scenarios described in the text. Plus, reading is a great way to engage your imagination and explore new ideas and worlds. It's a simple, enjoyable way to keep your mind sharp while also relaxing. Reading is particularly effective when it's combined with discussion. Whether you're reading a book by yourself or with a group, talking about what you've read helps improve your ability to analyze, think critically, and engage in deeper conversations. This social aspect of reading is important because it adds another layer of mental stimulation, especially when it involves sharing opinions and exchanging ideas. So, consider joining a book club or just having casual discussions with friends about your latest reads. It's a fantastic way to keep both your mind and your social life active. Finally, mindfulness and meditation are activities that might not immediately seem like brain games, but they have a profound impact on your cognitive health. Practicing mindfulness, whether through meditation, breathing exercises, or simply focusing on the present moment, can reduce stress, improve concentration, and even enhance memory. When you're mindful, you're teaching your brain to stay focused on one thing at a time, which is essential for maintaining mental clarity as you age. Research has shown that regular mindfulness practice can even increase the gray matter in the brain, which is responsible for memory, emotional regulation, and decision-making. It's a wonderful way to counteract the stress that we all face, especially as we get older, and it's something you can easily incorporate into your daily routine. Even a few minutes of deep breathing or a short meditation session can help calm your mind and sharpen your focus. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on all the ways you can engage your brain. Whether you're doing puzzles, learning a new skill, exercising, reading, or practicing mindfulness, the key to keeping your mind sharp is variety. The best brain games are those that challenge different areas of your cognitive abilities, from memory and focus to creativity and problem solving. Mixing up these activities and finding a routine that works for you is the secret to maintaining mental sharpness as you age. Remember, it's never too late to start. No matter where you are in life, your brain is capable of growing, adapting, and thriving. changes, like adding a crossword puzzle to your morning routine or picking up an instrument you've always wanted to learn, can make a big difference. The more you engage your brain, the healthier and sharper it will remain. And don't forget the importance of staying social and maintaining connections with loved ones. These social interactions provide not only emotional support, but also a continuous source of mental stimulation. Having conversations, sharing experiences, and engaging with others is one of the most effective ways to keep your mind sharp. Before we go, I'd love to hear from you. What brain games have you found to be the most enjoyable and effective? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and feel free to share any tips or experiences you have with maintaining a sharp mind. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tips on living your best life at any age. Here's to staying sharp, staying active, and embracing the beautiful journey of aging with a bright, vibrant mind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.